Hey guys, welcome to the afternoon drive. I'm getting it started a little bit early because I've got class at 5 o'clock. So I'm left a little bit early so I can make sure I get to my class on time and everything gets going good. But I appreciate you tuning in for the afternoon drive, and we'll also be on tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll do the stream, the live stream at 7 once I get back. But I will tell you, today was one of those days that, you know, for those of you that have actually been watching these streams, you know I work at a prison, okay? And so every day I come in contact with all the inmates, and I get to listen and hear a lot of what's going on. And every now and then I hear something that just kind of shocks me. I mean, really, today was one of those days where, you know, a conversation was being had that one of the biggest things in the prison industry is they want to reduce recidivism. They don't want these guys getting out, committing crimes, coming right back in. They want to try and kind of reduce career opportunities to learn trades and things of that nature. But I heard one of the guys today, you know, they were kind of sharing about what they're going to do when they get out, how they're going to go. All my mindset, I'm just coming back. Wasn't wanting, you know, anything better. He says, I'm going to go out and get a job at McDonald's if I could even find that. I don't qualify for anything. You know, there was no listening to the hopelessness that this guy was. And he says, look, when I get out, no matter what they tell you, you know, when you get out, you're a felon. You're not going to get a job that pays anything. You're not going to, you know, and he was making all these excuses. And I sat there and I thought to myself, man, you know, you can't change anybody. You cannot make someone change. You cannot want them to change bad enough to make a difference. It has to be an individual choice. You have to decide you're worth more, that you want more, and that you strive for more. Or you just want to go out and get high and do the drugs and eventually wind back up in prison. So I'm listening to this and I'm just trying to wrap my head around it and go, you know, I personally, I cannot think of anything that is worth doing prison time over. I can't think of any crime that's worth committing, anything that would take away my liberties and my freedom. And I mean, I would rather live on the street, be homeless, sleep out in the elements under a bridge somewhere, and wear the same clothes because I don't have clothes. I would rather be that destitute than to be in prison. And the thing is, with the prison that I work at, you see these prisoners, you have to understand, these guys that are in prison right now, they get 3 square meals every single day, sometimes even room service. Sometimes the meals are even brought to them where they are. They've got clean uniforms that are laundered every single week. Everything's done for them. They've got, their meals are like, you know, chicken. I mean, chicken on the bone with the breast. You know, they're getting better food than the homeless guy out on the street who hasn't committed any crime. They've got all the movies, the latest movies. They get to see the movies, the sporting events, the games, all the entertainment you want. They've got games. They've got bands. They can go ahead and have a band. They've got electric guitars, drums, keyboards, synthesizers, speakers. They have got. It's such a life, and of course it's an enclosed little city. They've got a store, a commissary. They can go buy Mountain Dew. They can go get candy bars, whatever they want out of the commissary. It is such a positive experience for them to be there. Many of them don't want to leave. They have no motivation to leave or be anything greater or better because of how it is in these facilities. Our particular facility, they call it Camp Cupcake, and it's because the inmates there have it very easy. And I started wondering, is it harder to reduce recidivism when you make the jail stay or the prison stay enjoyable. You know, yes, it's an inconvenience. I can't go see my friends or I can't go get a hamburger, but I got all kinds of new friends that I've made, and, you know, all of a sudden I get everything's done for me, and I get sleep and education. I get all that for free. No rain on me. I don't have to sleep out in the cold. So now I start wondering, are we looking at this the right way? I mean, are we, you know, from a prison standpoint, is that now that what they do, the reason they do that, and they make it cush or kind of easy for these guys, is because you've got to keep the peace. And if these guys were really unruly, or they would constantly be fighting, and they're always. But then once again, I say, let's take all the money that you're spending making it cushy for them, and let's make real prisons that are truly not hospitable to the individual. And when they finally realize, wow, man, if I go back, that's what I have to live with for the next 5 years or 10 years, and maybe it'll stop being as attractive to come back. You know, it was, just hearing this today, I really was kind of confused. I just don't see it, man. I'm like, why would you ever want to come back to prison? And then, of course, you hear everything they're talking about, and you're like, okay, you don't mind coming back to prison because it's kind of like summer camp. You know, you don't want to be there, but if you're there, you can make the best of it, and it's not hard time. And I think some prisons are probably harder time than others, but to me, I'm like, you know, you really need to have something that says, hey, look, I'm doing this time out of my life, and it's miserable. I don't ever want to come back. Now, that might make more sense to me to have that kind of a, you know, environment for prison. But anyway, it was just something that shocked the hell out of me today, and I was kind of thrown back by it, because when I hear these things, I hear these guys talk, and, you know, you have to decipher. Now, this particular inmate, that's just how he is. It's not something that he's just saying he really truly is that type. He doesn't really care if he comes back. He plans on coming back. So it's one of those deals where you're a little taken back at first, but then you come to realize who's doing the talking, and you just expect it from that person. You're like, yeah, I expect it. He's miserable anyway. But they all like to, well, I shouldn't say they all, a majority of them like to blame other people. They always cast blame. Oh, you know, it's, you know, my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, my uncle, my cousin. It's the people I hung with. They always blame everybody else. Very rarely do they say, no, I screwed up, and this is not, you know. You do have some that have, through, you know, they basically, by doing the time, they've come to the self-realization that they were their own worst enemy, and it wasn't somebody else that did it to them. They did it to themselves. And those are the ones that you kind of hope get out and really make a difference and do something great, because they finally get it. But a lot of these other guys that are even in their 30s and 40s, they don't get it. Just don't get it. So I'm kind of fortunate. You know, the particular facility I'm in, it's not as bad as the other one that I came from, but it is where you still have to understand these guys are still in prison, and the mentality a lot of the time is not like yours or mine. They've, you know, the very diverse backgrounds. So, but yeah, I'll tell you, I don't care who you are, I don't care what it is, no amount of money, no laws are worth breaking. The only, and I say this because I do know how I am. Now, there is certain things that might and, you know, would put me in prison if I would, you know, if somebody came and physically injured or hurt my family, my wife, my son, my daughter, you know, somebody that I love, and I found out about it and everything. There may be a chance that I would end up doing some jail time. I would have to adjust the situation. If you were rude or you hurt somebody I love, we'd have to visit that together and see what happens. And I have a feeling that the outcome may not be as positive as that other person would want. So is there a chance that maybe, I could be in trouble if somebody hurt my family? Yeah, I will concede to that. That's a possibility, but that's the only time. I mean, you can beat my car up, you can trash my house, you can get in a fight with me. All that, none of that is enough to put me over that threshold. But you hurt somebody I love, and that's part of my family. Then we'll have, we'll discuss it further. But otherwise, I could never see being in prison. I just don't see it. But God bless them if these guys think they're going to come back and it'll be better. But oh God. Yeah, it's one of those things, I think until you're in the environment, until you go inside a prison, you look and you understand all the intricate facets that make it up, this own little world, this own little microcosm of a society, every race, every color, creed, you can't even imagine how diverse it is, and as you kind of walk through that, as you talk to people, you hear people talking, you realize early on, yeah, it's definitely a unique place to be involved with. Oh man, there's a poker tournament tonight at 7. So I was kind of I was telling you guys last night, I like to stay on on time 7 to 9, and I try to be and I'm thinking, okay, well, if I get my class started at 5, my class will finish up about 6, right around there. I can probably, and that's actually, the tournament starts at 6, so I would have to take and do my class on my way out to the casino. And then when the casino tournament starts at 6, I'd have to play for an hour, then come on live, do the live stream, and be chipped up enough to where it could blind me out while I do it. I don't know. I will have to see how motivated I am today. Anyway, guys, hopefully your day's going good. It's Tuesday. Tomorrow's hump day. We're halfway through the week. So I'm hoping you had a good day or even a good evening, depending where you're at. I do definitely want to try and at least do that stream tonight and be on time. And consistency is important. You guys have told me that. I've read your emails. I understand that you want to know when, where, and times and how important that is to you, and I'm going to do my very best to try and stay consistent. Even if I've got to do the stream from one of the local card rooms, I'm going to do it because I'm committed to doing it. So I will try and do my best for you there. And I did want to say thanks again to everybody. If you were on last night, man, that was actually, I can say, that was the most fun I've had doing that stream since I've started. I love it when we get the interaction in the chat and we all kind of, just kind of engage and really have some fun with everything. We talked about everything from pizza to, everything. Everything I could think of, we probably touched on politics a little bit here and there. And, it was fun. And I want to say I appreciate you guys, because without you following me, without you guys, subscribing and that, it makes it really tough when you're a new streamer like myself. Man, it makes it really tough when you've got to try and figure out what it is people want to talk about. But when you have an open chat and everybody's talking, you can pick whatever interests you. There were some people that didn't appreciate when I said you should spank your kids. Don't be afraid to do that. You got the people that were child abuse, and they were against it. But you know what? we all know sometimes kids need an ass whipping. Not that they need to be beaten, but the ass whipping never builds character. Anyway. So, what else happened today? Not much. I mean, other than that, it was just a weird day to listen to these conversations. And they talked to a lot of. We had conversations over lunch about tonight's. Which, excuse me, I didn't even know it's the State of the Union address tonight, and I thought they said it was Wednesday, but apparently, even this morning, I kept thinking, did they say it was Tuesday? But apparently, yes, it's tonight. He's going to do. Trump's going to do a State of the Union, so I really would like to see that, and because you know what's going to happen. He's going to do State of the Union address, and right afterward, they're going to get the Democrats to try to badmouth whatever he said. Whatever he said, however great it is, they're going to try and put a spin on it and say, well, yeah, he's saying that unemployment is down, but isn't really down. He's saying that jobs are at an all-time high, but are they really at an all-time high? So they'll kind of try and trounce all over everything. Oh, sure, he says the economy is booming and it's, it's at an all-time. But is the economy really booming? And, they'll have some fun with it because that's what they do. But I think the truth kind of speaks for itself. He's got a lot that he can actually, he can say, look, I've tried working with Democrats, and he might even use his State of the Union address to say he's going to declare a national emergency for the wall. He might do that. Kind of hope he does. He's going to get that funding one way or the other. That's what he campaigned on. That's what the promises he made. He wants to at least go, he wants to take in and go to the polls next year knowing the American people seen him trying to keep those campaign promises. That's important because if he's up for re-election, they're definitely going to want to make sure that he's got a track record that makes it worthwhile putting him in office again. So, I think that's why people voted for him. They didn't vote for him because he was Donald Trump. They voted for him because, truth be told, he wasn't a politician. He was truly a businessman, and that's kind of what the country needs every now and then is somebody who doesn't just tell you what you want to hear, but somebody who actually do what needs to be done. And I don't think he was afraid of being the bad guy and making some calls and doing some things that were not popular. Most politicians, because it's all about popularity when you're a politician, because that's the way you stay in your job, that's the way you can become a career politician, is you want to be able to keep everybody warm, fuzzy, and happy. And if you're Donald Trump, you don't care. You can't be bought, you don't need the money, and it is going to be what it is. So, also, if you guys, if you're on last night, there's a few guys that actually I wanted to follow on your channels and take a look at, and I couldn't find you. I went to, I think a lot of you guys were on Mixer. I had some on Twitch, but I think most of the ones that I was talking to was from Mixer, and I wanted to make sure that, leave me or let me know exactly what I got to search for, because I couldn't find anybody on there. So I definitely want to try and find your channel so I can actually return the favor and kind of view you guys when you're on streaming. We had a new streamer and somebody else who was already a streamer, so definitely would appreciate it. So what else? Did I read anything interesting in the newspaper? There was something on as I was leaving about James Brown, who I thought was dead and who's been dead for a while, but apparently they're saying he was murdered or so. So I didn't get a chance to read it. I just found it as I was leaving. It was up there. So I know what I was going to do. I was going to try and see if one of the radio stations here, the radio station I usually listen to, is no longer working, and I don't know why. I don't even know. Maybe their transmitter went down, but oh, guys. So yeah, I think what I'm going to end up doing, I think I will probably blow off the tournament tonight. I'll skip I'll just do the State of the Union, my classes, and I'll do the stream with you guys if you want to stop by and chat for a while. I am kind of curious to see what Trump says. I don't know what time it is, but if it's, you know, I might pop it on the stream and watch it if it's during the stream. Oh, excuse me, guys. Man, the lunch today, it was one of those things where I had, I spent my lunchtime fighting, believe it or not, fighting for a new chair. I have a chair that if you lean back on it, it'll flip you on your ass. And I told our safety people, and I told I need a new chair. And finally, it got to be so complicated. I said, look, let me go buy my own chair. You don't have to reimburse me for it. I'll donate it to you. But I was literally going out to buy my own chair. I didn't even care. And somebody rolled one in and gave me a new one. So, well, a newer one than I had. But yeah, some things you just, you know, in your job, you want your tools you need to do your job. You want things a certain way. And today was definitely one of those days where I should have stayed in bed this morning. But anyway. I'm trying to guzzle my caffeine and hopefully get that little bit of a boost. Let me see, what else is there? Dinner tonight. I think I'm going to do pork tenderloin tonight. We're going to see, you guys, we were talking last night about pizza. And then, of course, today, do you know what they had for lunch? Everybody went out and got pizza, brought in pizza. And they're like, oh, you can have some. And I'm like, no, I can't. But, you know, the offer was there. It was definitely cool. But, yeah, they all brought Hungry Howie's Pizza. Had 12 pizzas, all kinds. Oh, there's plain, there's pepperoni, whatever you like, we got one. And I said, I like them all. I just can't do the carbs, you know. So they're like, well, what are you gonna have for lunch? I said, I'll have the chicken, you know, and I'll have a little bit of salad. That was it. That was my. Yeah, for those of you guys, if you've ever tried losing weight, if you ever tried to lose a few pounds, that's kind of the boat I was in. January 1st, I was at my all-time heaviest weight I've ever been, and I was miserable. And I mean, I'd look in the mirror. Yeah, this is how I knew I needed to lose weight. I got up one morning, I got undressed to get in the shower, and I looked in the mirror, and I went, oh my God. And at that moment, I said, I've got to lose weight. I didn't even recognize the person standing in front of the mirror. And I said, oh crap. I said, I can't do this, man. So I ended up January 1st. I said, okay, I'm not going to go on a diet. I didn't want to call it a diet. First three letters, D-I-E, they basically give you the, oh, I'm going to die if I'm on this thing. I didn't call it a diet. It was just change the lifestyle a little bit. Change my lifestyle, and I've went from 305 January 1st down to 275, 276 right now, and I'm still going down. But I've never eaten so much food, and there's just a certain point in time where my body doesn't want to eat food anymore. But I keep trying. I keep trying to stay with it because they said if you stop eating, because normally I would only eat breakfast once every month. I mean, I always blew off breakfast, blew off lunch most cases, and I just have a good dinner. Now they got me eating breakfast and lunch and dinner and snacks and all this stuff, and they're just tired of the eating. And it's always, it's good food, don't get me wrong, and it's filling. It's just, I just really, truly don't believe I need to eat that much food. And there's no portion control. You know, if you told me you got to eat it, and you can have this 5-ounce piece of fish or this, oh no. They're like, have some crab legs and have some, shrimp and have some fish and eat 10 pounds of it if you want, I don't want, but a lot of times it just never comes back. So anyway, if you're in the same boat, losing weight or trying to, I found something that works. If you like to eat. Oh, shit. Been a boring day today, guys. Hopefully your day was a lot more exciting than mine. It was absolutely just a drag just to get through the day. Oh my God. I mean, all I did was work on the computers that I had. I worked on the computers, got everything going. I'm trying to finish them up for tomorrow. But other than that, it was slow, just agonizingly brutal. I'm going to be like those guys you'll see that are playing the games. You tune onto their channel and they're just no sound, no nothing, just playing games. You'll click on my channel and it'll be like, he's just driving. He's not talking. He's not doing anything. Nope, just driving. I'll have like a huge following of cross-country truckers. None of us talk. We all just sit and drive and watch each other on the streams. Well, there's Jimmy John. Yep, he's just driving. Ain't talking. There's Billy Bob. Yeah, Billy Bob's, he's just driving. He's not talking. Hey, there's Sammy. Sammy's just driving, not talking. There'll be a bunch of channels of nothing but drivers. Nobody talks. We just sit there and go. Now that would be just like that channel ASMR, where they just whisper in the mics and tear paper. It'd just be a bunch of truckers and drivers sitting there in their cars, not talking, just making a bunch of obnoxious sounds. They'll be like, that's all they do. No speech, no nothing, just bodily functions, noises, and every now and then you get a grunt or a clear your throat. We should do that, just a channel of nothing but truckers that stream while they're driving. And you just click on it, and it'll be like 100 truckers stream. Okay, guys, that's what we got to do. We got to start our own channel of nothing but drivers. Just drivers that are just driving. If you're on the road, a cross-country trucker, whatever, get with me, man. Send me an email, povamerica@outlook.com, and let's all set up, and we'll get streaming. We'll just have one channel with hundreds of truckers across the country doing nothing but sitting in their cabs and burping and farting and just grumbling to themselves. That's what we need to do. That's entertainment, folks. That's entertainment, you know. So what do you do? I just drive. Well, what's the live stream for? Oh, it streams me driving. What do you talk about? Oh, I don't talk. I just drive. It's like, and people watch you. Oh, yeah, they watch me. I'll put on there sometime, you know, Michigan to Florida, and I just drive. Every now and then I tell them what state I'm going through. Going through Ohio. Yeah, that would actually... I've seen crazier channels. I mean, I can almost see that. You click on it, hundreds of people streaming, nobody talking, just driving, you know. Matter of fact, that would be the name of the channel, Just Driving. Then you get the chat going, if you can ever get the chat going. What are you doing? Just driving. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. What are you crazy talking driving? Why do people watch you drive? Why not? People watch people play games. Watch me drive. I don't know, man. I've seen crazier things. It might work. You might start another fad. We'll call it a movement. Let's call it the Just Driving movement. We'll start a movement of just cross-country truckers and people that drive for a living. Put a streaming camera, you know, a little video phone there and just stream it live, and we'll just call it Just Drive, and it'll be a movement, and we'll donate a bunch of proceeds to charity. So anybody that, if they're driving through your state and you want to support that person, they go, well, I'm going through Tennessee. If they're going through Tennessee and you're in Tennessee, give them some donations, and we'll roll all that into some kind of a charity for everybody. We'll call it the Just Driving for Muscular Dystrophy. There you go. There's a channel, Just Driving for Muscular Dystrophy. Everybody that drives, and people watch them drive. Listen, guys, this is a good idea. I'm telling you. We'll put it all together, and people will go, and people will be able to just drive on their way to work. Why just truckers? Why not everybody? If you've got a camera, pop it in your car. We'll start a channel. I'm going to go see if I can do that on Twitch. Just Driving, and we'll just go ahead and put all the stuff on there. And whenever somebody donates, we'll go ahead and get it so we can give it to a charity, or they can pay for gas for these people driving, whatever the case may be. Well, yeah, I've seen crazier stuff. I've seen people tearing paper, scratching cardboard, squeaking balloons, doing bubble wrap. I mean, I've seen crazy things so far online. So, Just Driving channel where people just drive. Do you build anything? Nope, I just drive. Do you go out to eat? Nope, just drive. That's all I do. That's what I want to do. Yeah, that'd be funny. Crazy enough to work, crazy enough to get a following. People be talking about it every night. Did you get on the Just Drive channel? Did you see last night? There was a guy, oh my God, he was driving. Yeah. Oh no, but he was driving. He drove through Ohio. I watched him all the way through Ohio. He drove through Tennessee and Kentucky. He went into Georgia, just driving. Yeah. Did you watch that? Yeah, you'll be like the talk around the water cooler every Monday. Hey, Jimmy, man, did you see that show, Just Driving? Man, they got this big old redneck boy, Billy Bob. He's got a big old semi-truck, and he was just driving, man. All right, just driving, yeah. That would be fun, but come on, man. Get on the bandwagon, you know. Hell with uniformity, you know. Be an individual. Jump on board. I don't know. This is why my wife says I'm childish, juvenile, and immature, because I come up with shit that people be like, well, what is the entertainment value of watching somebody sitting there and just making bodily function noises? Well, you know, every now and then you might see them pick their nose. They might be picking their nose. That would be entertaining. Maybe that would be fun. You know, people find entertainment in the strangest things. And every now and then, the drivers, as they drive, maybe they could wrinkle paper while they're in there, you know, just wrinkle it. Make it relaxing, too. So it'll be Just Driving ASMR crazy. Something like that. We'll come up with something. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not as insane as you think I am. I'm just kind of sometimes things just strike me as funny. I'm like, and there's people, I know there's people that would just sit there and watch it going, I must have watched that guy drive. I'm exhausted. I was watching this guy drive all night long. Woo, must have done 12-hour drive straight through. I am beat. Okay, man. Did you drive? Oh, no, I just watched him drive. Just watch him. You watch, oh, yeah, it was a long drive, too, 12 hours. And you just watched him drive. Oh, yeah. Then what did he talk about? Oh, he didn't talk, he just drove. I see, yeah. God. I hope my wife isn't watching this. I hope she's not watching this. I'm going to get home. She'll be standing in the doorway. I want a divorce. This is absolutely crazy. You're a crazy talker. You're crazy. I can't deal with this. I want a divorce. Oh, you come with a ride? Go for a ride with me and I'll take you for a drive? You're a crazy talker. Anyway, guys, if you're absolutely insane enough to hang with me for this drive home, God bless you. I apologize. I try to amuse myself, keep myself awake sometimes when I drive, and unfortunately today you felt the brunt of it, so I apologize. But I'm going to go home and work on that and kind of take a look at doing the Just Driving channel, see if I can make that happen. Then I'll put my morning and afternoon drive on the Just Driving channel. Oh, God. People right now are just going, this guy is crazy. Hey, hopefully you enjoyed it. I'm going to head home. I'm going to go ahead and get ready, and I'll see you at 7 o'clock. I'll be there for the stream. I'm not going to do the poker tournament tonight. I'll probably do it on Saturday or Thursday or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyway, guys, have a great afternoon. I'll see you tonight at the 7 o'clock stream if you are so inclined. Hopefully you'll be there, and I look forward to talking to you then, man. Have a great night, guys. We'll see you soon.